Hello, Josh Schwartz.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Alright, well, why don't you start by telling me about yourself?
Sure. I was born in Sudbury, Massachusetts, and I'm now pursuing a double major in government and economics at the University of Maryland, College Park. I'm also pursuing a minor in sustainability studies. I'm currently enrolled in the College Park Scholars Business Society and the Economy program. It's really been great so far.
That's very interesting. Why don't you tell me more about that?
Sure. Scholars is a program that takes 800 freshmen, divides them into 10 different groups with about 80 people each, ranging from all different topics from engineering to arts to the environment, and I'm in the business one, which focuses mainly on giving us an inside view on how businesses work and how businesses function. Through the business program, I'm going to travel to Dubai on their cultural immersion trip. I've also gone to places like the FBI, and we took an inside view at Cirque du Soleil. We've met tons of business people, had many opportunities to network, and it's really been an excellent experience so far.
From this information, what do you want me to know you for?
I want to be known as someone who's well-rounded and has a number of interests and skills. I think my degrees really show me that. I also want to be known as someone that's kind and caring, and I would like to be known for being reliable and dedicated and hardworking. Those are really my foundation skills that I think are really important.
Could you tell me of a creative approach you took to solve a problem?
Sure.
And if so, how did you come to approach this problem, and did you consider any other options?
Sure. My brother and I are currently working on this project now. So we think the idea of a bachelor and bachelorette party is really cliche in Las Vegas, party and everything. We want to reinvent the bachelor party. What we plan on doing is buying a number of properties and outfitting them to the best bachelor pad ever. We want to, for the men, we want to put in their favorite, we want to put in a bar, tons of TVs, movie rooms, pools, exercise equipment, everything that a number of men love to have for an awesome, incredible weekend. For the women, we'd add more spa treatment programs, maybe an in-house sauna, a wine cellar, things of that nature. And we plan on opening a number of these properties. We'll have a beach-themed house. We'll have a wooded cabin with like logs and things like that. We'll have a desert cabin lodge. That would be really cool too. And like a lake house. Really, there are tons of options. This idea hasn't really come to any hard programs yet. But this is something that my brother and I are interested in pursuing. I think it's a really good idea to reinvent the bachelor party. It's so cliche at this point.
Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. Now, why don't you tell me about a time you had the lead role in managing a student project?
Sure. I am the Director of Member Development for Delta Tau Delta Colony here on campus. I'm responsible for overseeing recruitment education, ritual education, new member education, and then I'm solely responsible for programming that has to do with growing our members in ways that you can't learn in the classroom. From this, I need to oversee that my officers are doing their respective jobs, teaching people how to recruit, teaching new members about the fraternity and other things like that. And then I'm also responsible for making sure that we get things like resume workshops, and we're having a Dress for Success program and a program about how to file taxes. So this leadership role is really important to me. I serve on the executive board of the fraternity, and I've gotten a good look at how to manage people by doing this.
Tell me about a difficult situation you've made in the previous year.
Sure. So last summer I had to make a difficult decision. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Birthright sends Jewish kids to Israel for free. There were a number of dates in which I could have gone. But it was really coming down to two. One of which was at the beginning of the summer, and it would allow me to, basically come home from school for a couple days and go right to Israel and get the Israel component out of the way, and then I would come back and probably have an internship. The other opportunity was in July, where I would go and afterwards spend time with my family and travel with them, which was really unique because my dad has never been, my mom's been once in a long time ago. Ultimately, I chose to go at the later date during the middle of the summer because I really thought it was important to spend time with my family like that. I really thought that would be an interesting experience and an unforgettable one. So I ended up going with them, and I was able to get a cooking job before I left and a lifeguarding job after I left. So although it wasn't as productive as maybe getting an internship, I was really happy that I got to experience Israel with my family.
That is very, very nice. How have you worked to achieve your professional vision?
Everything I do so far, I think, really goes to prove my professional vision. The degrees I've chosen are really diverse, but also somewhat interconnected. And I think I'm not sure exactly the kind of role I want to fill 20, 30 years from now, but I think that all of these things that I've poised myself well to do are important to achieving my professional vision.
Please describe 2 situations for me. One in which you received very positive feedback on your performance, and one where you received negative feedback.
Sure. Recently, actually, I got an elite score on one of my papers, and I was very, very happy about that. The TA praised me for my writing skills, my argumentation skills, my organizational skills, and I was really very honored by that. Conversely, a different paper that I had to write for a different class did not really get the score that I wanted. In which case, I met with the TA, talked about what I can do, what I should do better for the next paper, and if there's any opportunity for me to rewrite. And that feedback was very good. Looking at the paper, I realized that I should have done these things that the TA said that I should have. And overall, everything was reconciled. And I will use those skills in the future, definitely.
Tell me about a time when you made a big mistake.
Sure. Last semester, I didn't achieve the academic excellence standards that I wanted myself to achieve. I did a lot of staying up late, not really sleeping, eating, and not just getting the GPA that I wanted. After the semester, I took an objective look at this, and I said, what do I need to do to change myself? And I realized that was getting a normal sleep schedule, working as hard as I can, and doing every single, even optional assignment, and just focusing harder on my schoolwork. And I think that's proven to be very fruitful lately.
Can you describe a time for me when you managed to stress really well despite difficult conditions?
Sure. A few weeks ago, my fraternity was wrapping up our expansion period at the university. That meant we had certain special commitments, like an alumni reception and a special chapter meeting. All the while that week, I had 3 other papers due, and the BSc program's Iliad exam, which tests leadership skills. My strategy was to use the weeks leading up to this stressful week as efficiently as I can by doing as much as I can to get other work out of the way and poise myself better to hand in these 3 papers and overall elevate the quality of work that I hand in. This technique proved to be useful because I was very happy with some of the results that I received, and I've also started to implement that in other projects and programs that I've done. I've started to do things much more ahead of time than I would have last year.
Sounds like you're handling really well.
Mm-hmm.
Describe a situation when you had to give feedback to someone for being a demotivating member to a team.
Sure. Back in high school, I was working with a group of people, 2 other people, that really didn't like each other for personal reasons and others. But the success of the group depends on everybody working together. And I was able to... I noticed that this tension was really dampening, making the performance of the group worse. We weren't doing as well as we should have. So then I brought the 2 of them together. I said, I don't really care about what you 2 don't like about each other. For the sake of all of our grades, please put that to the side and work hard to reconcile your differences and perform the best as we can.
Tell me about a time when you had to begin a difficult conversation with another person.
Sure. Recently, we ran into an issue with our philanthropy chair for my fraternity. He was very strong about doing things and getting as much programming as possible. He was very excited about it, but he wasn't going through the designated paths to getting a Delta Tau Delta event. He was basically just planning things on his own, and not asking for anybody's help. And this led to a number of verbal commitments that he had to back out of. And we wanted to talk to him, the executive board wanted to talk to him and tell him how the best way to get programming would be, and other things like that that would allow like more brothers to go and have a better presence and ultimately do a lot of philanthropy work. All the while, we wanted to teach him this without dampening his enthusiasm, and we wanted to keep him excited about being the philanthropy chair and keep amazing programming coming to the fraternity. We wanted to instill a change in him, but also fully support him.
Tell me about one of the toughest groups that you've had to work with and what made it difficult.
One group I had to work with recently had terrible communication skills. It was a week leading up to the presentation that we had to give in class, and this one girl just wasn't responding to my Facebook messages or my request to my friend request, which was the only means I had of connecting with her at that point. I told her that I had a really busy week, that I wouldn't be able to put the project on to the night before, and she just didn't respond, at which point I emailed the professor. The professor also didn't respond. So I really felt alone at this point. I emailed her one last time. I said, if you don't do this, if you don't, let me know and talk to me, then I'll have to just do it myself. Ultimately, she didn't email me back. I was running out of time, and I did the project entirely by myself. Then the night before the presentation comes, I'm doing something unrelated, and she messaged me. She said, "Have you started working on it?" And I said, "Yeah, I did the entire thing. I couldn't wait for you. I'm busy right now. I suggest you choose a different date." So what she ended up doing was giving a completely separate presentation to mine. I presented first, and I did very well because I implemented things that we learned in the Dale Carnegie seminar. And she went after mine. She was unprepared. She, you could tell her slideshow was thrown together last minute, whereas mine, I think, was very professional. But overall, I think it's persistence and resilience that brought me through working through this with this difficult group.
A shame that discrepancy happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very nice to meet you, Josh.
Thank you. We'll keep in touch.
Mm-hmm.